You want to say anything to anybody?
Hello.
Well, let's go back to Sun Tzu.
Mm.
Basically, before China was China, it was broken into independent
Dynasties.
states, monarchies and war states. Probably like a couple dozen of them, and they used to basically fight each other and bump each other off and take. You'd go in, I'd take over your land. You'd come in 20 years later, take over my land. They were just war fighting. Why were they doing this?
Power and wealth for the people in control is what I would
Food,
say.
water, money, power.
Right. Resources.
Same reasons we're doing it today.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is,
right,
is we don't have a starving population. We have food stamps and EBT cards and those type of things. So our country, I know there are a lot of hungry people out there. But compared to other countries, our country is well off. So I think that what happens is that bit of laziness. When you have things going that well, you tend to not to scrutinize,
right.
Well, things are going great. Things are going great. What do I care about everything else?
Yeah, I mean, I think so. Got the TV and all that. Yeah, I mean, I think so. Yeah. And it does take, I will say that it does take a little bit of digging, and it takes an interest in trying to understand things to actually get a better picture of what's going on. I think it's easy to fall into the trap of just kind of taking the mainstream media on face value, thinking that the US is always a good guy. Like, it does take a little bit of work to get past that. So it's not like, I am judging people necessarily. I mean, some people I do, but it is, you have to kind of have a different angle to get to the point where you're mistrusting of all these things, because they make it really easy to kind of fall for it.
Well, it takes time to figure out what the real agenda is. I mean, when somebody is 100% on one side of the fence, well, nobody's right 100% of the time. So they're going to be wrong on something, right?
Right.
Right?
Right.
I mean, if you're not opening your mind to the fact that you could be wrong, then you're an idiot.
Right.
You're an idiot. Unless you're the one pushing the button saying, I know what's going on, then you don't.
Right.
You're making your best determination as to basically the information at hand. So if you're going to blindly believe some mouthpiece or something on a blog or something on a YouTube video or CNN on the airport, that it's insane. It's insane. It's what it does is it's a piece of information, and now it's up to you to compare it to whatever other information you can get, if you can get it. If you can get it.
Yeah. 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 I mean, people who take CNN as fact, that's kind of scary, because even if you're not very conspiratorial, like, the way that they present information should give people pause, because it is so emotional, it is so dramatized, it's so in your face, that it should give you pause to think, like, maybe this isn't really the true facts here. Maybe this is kind of like a little bit high octane because of ratings, or because they want to get you to keep watching, or something like that. So yeah, that's definitely on a different level. But I feel like
if you're feeling emotions, if all of a sudden you feel rage, or you feel pity or sympathy, do it for the children, Benny. The children. Right. That's the number one red flag for me. When anybody ever goes to do it for the children, they're full of shit. Because it means they don't have an argument. So they're going to a visceral reaction. And that is the first thing that you can use to say, wait, I'm being duped here, or I've got to dig further.
Dig further. Right.
Okay. Emotions are normal, but when like you say, because these people, as I started saying a half an hour ago, they know what strings to pull to get certain emotions, to get certain reactions.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Back in the first Gulf War, they put the Kuwaiti's ambassador's daughter in front of Congress to say
I know,
that
yeah.
she saw
I remember that.
the Iraqi army bayoneting babies.
Right.
And then George Bush was out saying, and they're bayoneting babies. And then Bob Dole was out there, and they voted for a war resolution. And Americans were like, oh, we got to kill these guys. Even if it was true, who gives a shit? It's
which it wasn't.
It wasn't. Right. But here's the thing people have to remember. The reason that visceral reactions are so effective is because it gets you to go along with what they want you to go along. And if you find out a month later, a year later, 10 years later, that it was a lie,
too late.
What are you going to do about it? Right. You're already, all those guys in Afghanistan, they're dead.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Saddam Hussein, he's dead. Right. We've already gone in. We've destroyed that country. We even had Wesley Clark, the guy who ran for president. He was a general in the army. He was out saying that the Pentagon had a paper that said they were going to destroy 7 countries in 5 years. Iraq, Afghanistan, Libya, Ethiopia, going down the list. We just happened to take out a significant portion of them.
Yeah, I remember him. Yeah, this guy got a lot of controversy. I forget, was it Bosnia? He was involved in Bosnia and he completely messed it up and I think he was demoted. I don't know. I remember reading about this guy. He's a scary guy. Like, he was involved in Bosnia and he bombed targets that were illegitimate, and I think he was reprimanded. He was a weird guy. I remember reading about this guy.
Yeah.
He was a crazy guy.
Well, I was in Belgrade, and we bombed Belgrade, and I was getting the stories. In fact, we bombed the Chinese embassy in Belgrade and killed several Chinese.
What? Whoa! Wait!
Just happened to bomb the Chinese embassy.
Yes. Yeah, you're right. I remember that. I remember reading about that. Yeah, it was this guy.
Wesley Clark?
Literally, yes. NATO expressed its justification for the bombing by saying the station operated as a propaganda tool for the regime. Bombed Chinese embassy in 1999. Yeah, and then we said, oh, it was a mistake because we were trying to read a map and it was the wrong map.
Oops.
And then later they said, yeah, it was intentional. It was intentional. So yeah, it's scary stuff. Well, yeah, this guy's
it's kind of crazy because I visited Belgrade. The years melt together, but I want to say 2017. I don't remember when, but they still have buildings that are destroyed from the bombing 20 years later. And you're walking through, and I remember saying to somebody, I'm like, what's going on with that building? It looks like it was blown up. And they're like, it was.
Right.
And I'm like, they're like, where are you from? I'm like, oh, I'm Irish.
I know. Place, yeah.
Live long and prosper.